A maid counts while exercising, reaching 10 with a jiggle. She pants heavily, revealing herself to be Isekai'd, daughter of a duke, and questions why she is so chubby even though she knows she's the villainess. She blames a self-proclaimed god for her chubby state, lack of stamina, and acne-covered face. The narrative flashes back to a week ago. Isekai'd, a part-time worker and otome game otaku, was floating with happiness over a grand update for her favorite game, Crisis Maiden. She anxiously checks her phone, wondering if the game has updated yet. A truck suddenly bears down on her, its horn blaring as its tires screech. She perishes in a traffic accident before she even knows what happened. Then, a new presence makes itself known. A self-proclaimed god appears before her, requesting that she become the villainous Isekai'd. Her disembodied eyes float in a strange space. A distant voice identifies itself as the god of a world created from the game application Love Crisis Battle Maiden, which she played with fervent zeal. The name, Love Crisis Battle Maiden, hangs in the air. She panics about the game's update, but the voice tells her it's now impossible. The god bluntly states it's impossible because she is already dead, a fact she somberly accepts. The god offers to bring her back to life. It explains that it is in a pinch. Its world is still in its infancy and was set to loop a specific time period to quicken its development, but an important character, Erika, committed suicide just before the final phase. Due to Erika's suicide, the world could fall apart, and while the god considered reviving her, her soul was too damaged by the previous loops, so it needs the protagonist to replace her as the villainess. She realizes this means she will be reborn in the world of Crisis Maiden, and the god confirms it, explaining she will be reborn shortly after the romance arc begins, when good vibes are starting between the heroine Canon and Crown Prince Arthur. The god overwhelms her with information, stating Erika's existence is fundamental to the world and she must live as her until the role is fulfilled, otherwise the world will be broken beyond repair. As compensation, she'll get cheats, and she might even become a saint, but she also needs to get rid of a bug in the system. The world starts glitching due to the bug, and the god's voice becomes distorted as it tries to explain an irregular love route involving a saint before the protagonist can no longer hear it over the noise. Her soul is then thrown into the body of Erika, who had just committed suicide by poison, leaving her to wonder what to do. She feels a dull pain and opens her eyes. Thus, she was reincarnated, looking at her reflection and wondering who this person is. The narrative provides background on the game, Crisis Maiden. The game's world lore explains that every 100 years, a saint is chosen to borrow powers from the 4 holy beasts to seal the dark dragon and bring peace. The game is split into 2 parts. Part 1 is the romance arc where the heroine and saint candidate, Canon, enrolls in an academy and romances capture targets, and Part 2 is the battle arc where she journeys to seal the dark dragon with her chosen partner from Part 1. The villainess, Isekai'd, is also a saint candidate and the fiancée of Crown Prince Arthur. Seeing him act intimately with Canon, Erika begins to bully Canon relentlessly, which leads to her conviction and execution. No matter which route the heroine Canon picks, all of them lead to Erika's death, even if she doesn't end up with the Crown Prince. The god's words echo, reminding her she must live as Erika until her role is up, a grim thought compared to how fun the game was when playing as Canon. She sighs, accepting the truth of her situation. She reflects that without the villainous Erika, Crisis Maiden would just be a simple dating game, as the rivalry between Erika and the heroine Canon for the prince's affection and the position of saint is central to the plot. Realizing the original Erika in the game was a slender beauty, she resolves to diet and avoid her destruction end at all costs, determined to enjoy her new life. She begins to train rigorously, taking advantage of the long vacation after the first semester at Royal Nobles Academy to get into shape and pursue a happy life. A maid knocks and enters, announcing that the tailor has arrived. She observes the twitchy, fidgety maid, recalling that the old Erika intimidated them with her high-handed ways and decides to build a good relationship with them. After 2 weeks of working to improve relations, her maid, Villainess, asks what she will be doing today, and Erika replies that she'll be exercising while taking a stroll, which makes Villainess happy as she's been smiling more lately. Erika shows off new sportswear made by a popular tailor, exclaiming how comfortable it is before enthusiastically heading out. As she struts confidently, she suddenly cries out in pain. Villainess asks if something is wrong, but Erika is confused because she heard a pained voice that Villainess apparently couldn't hear. A rustle in the bushes reveals a small, dark animal curled up in pain. She realizes it's an injured stray cat that is scared of them, but she soothes it, promising it will be fine. 5 days later, Lina is amazed that the cat is no longer in pain, and Erika holds it gently. She recalls the god's promise of a few cheats and realizes her newfound healing magic and ability to understand animals must be part of that, as she sits reading instead of exercising. She explains to the black cat, whom she has named Kuro, that she died, met a weird god, and was sent to this world, and that the cat's full recovery is thanks to her magic. She tells Kuro that she is now Isekai'd, the villainess of an otome game, but she does not plan to meet the same fate as the game's version of Erika. She is therefore formulating a plan to steer clear of the destruction end. By comparing information from books with the game's original setup, she's concluded this world is nearly identical to Crisis Maiden, and that at this rate, a death sentence awaits her. The god also mentioned that the world develops and evolves with each loop, so she reasons that she should avoid getting involved when the heroine canon saves the world. Kuro asks if she can actually avoid getting involved, and she replies that she probably can, explaining that the original game had 2 condemnation events leading to her execution. Depending on the heroine's choices, Erika's execution could happen either right after the romance arc or during the last part of the battle arc. She remembers the god said she could become a saint, which was impossible for the original Erika in the game. Kuro realizes this means there might be a way to progress without being condemned, and Erika agrees that it's not necessary to follow the original story. The problem is, she can't remember all the specific events from the game. She wonders how to avoid the destruction end, considering not going to the academy, but doubts Duke Ordis would allow it. Kuro points out she'd be lonely anyway since the original Erika bullied canon. She recalls that at the end of the first semester, the Crown Prince publicly reprimanded Erika for bullying canon, and she believes this event was one of the reasons for the original Erika's suicide. For now, her plan is to stay isolated and watch Canon's actions, vowing not to bully her or get close to the captured targets, and to be careful not to make others hate her. Kuro asks what she will do, and she reveals she has a backup plan to escape the house in an emergency. Her plan involves shop management and money. If she fails to avoid the bad end, fleeing the country is the only option left, so she needs to secretly run her own business to get money, but that means she'll have to leave the mansion frequently and needs someone to watch the house. She summons a doppel slime, a demonic spirit, and finds it incredibly cute. The slime confirms it heard their discussion and that it is to morph into her doppelganger when she leaves for her shop. However, the slime's current power only allows it to maintain her appearance for an hour, but it says it can be of use for longer if she grants its request. The slime asks her to become its master and that it wants to become her familiar. It explains that once she gives it a name, it can become her familiar, and she is intrigued by the idea. Kuro explains that familiars are demonic spirits contracted with humans. The master supplies them with Aina, which is similar to magic power, and the familiar submits to them, as demonic spirits can only absorb a meager amount of Aina from nature while humans constantly overflow with it. The slime confirms this, explaining that by forming a contract with her, it will have an abundance of magical power and be able to retain her shape longer and transform as needed. The slime mentions her Aina seems super tasty and doesn't mind going into absolute submission, which flusters her a bit. She is asked if she will make it her familiar or not, and she declares that she will. She names the doppel slime FIM, and they enter a master-servant contract. FIM then transforms into a perfect imitation of her. Erika begins training FIM on how to respond to the maid Lilina's questions, such as what to say if asked about tea or if she's disturbed while reading. She happily declares that FIM's performance is perfect. FIM, still in Erika's form, gushes about how sweet and ladylike this version of Erika is, and Erika hugs FIM, thanking her master before Kuro reminds her it's time to leave. Her destination is a rundown clothing and accessories shop in a commoner village, run by a young woman who is about to have the shop seized due to her parents' debts. Furthermore, today is the deadline for repayment, and debt collectors are hovering around the shop, so she must buy it immediately. Inside, 2 men are pressuring Miss Lana, reminding her that the clock chiming marks her deadline to return the money she borrowed. As Lana despairs over not having the money, Erika takes a deep breath, prepares her haughty villainous persona, and decides it's now or never. She bursts in, declaring she's kept them waiting and asks to buy the deed for the shop. When they tell her it's closed, she asserts that it's fine as long as she has the money. She throws a heavy sack of coins onto the counter with a loud thud. She smiles confidently and announces she will be buying this shop. The young woman Lana looks on in disbelief as Erika explains she's buying it from her. 2 months after her reincarnation as Erika, she has shed 6 kilos, her skin is smooth, and she's being fitted for a trip. The maids fuss over her, discussing how to style her gorgeous hair for a dance party and noting that sneaking out to prepare the shop has been a good form of exercise. When asked for her opinion, she tells them to do as they see fit, as they always do a phenomenal job. The second semester begins today, and the maids are excited to polish everything perfectly for the first day, which will be a dance party instead of classes, a large social gathering where parents will also be in attendance. As she puts on her shoe, the god's words echo, reminding her that she must live as Erica until her role is up, or the world will be broken beyond repair. Though she was a hardcore player of Crisis Maiden in her past life, she resolves to treasure her new life, not get caught, and not die, all to ensure her survival as the villainous Erica. She declares that as Part 1 romance arc begins, she will just have to go forth and conquer it. Arriving at the magnificent Royal Nobles Academy, which appears exactly as it did in the game, Erica steadies her nerves with a deep breath before heading inside. Just as she takes a step, a figure tumbles down the stairs right past her with a startled cry. The fallen girl is the heroine, Canon, who begins to cry and accuses Erica of shoving her when all she wanted to do was offer a simple greeting. Prince Arthur arrives on the scene and immediately confronts Erica by name. Canon feeds the narrative, claiming Erica pushed her down the stairs. A stunned Erica can only protest that she did nothing of the sort. The prince furiously demands that Erica admit to her wrongdoing and apologize to Canon. At that moment, Erica recognizes the entire situation as a scripted event from the Otome game. Canon plays the part of the magnanimous victim, telling the prince that it's okay and suggesting that perhaps it was all just a misunderstanding on her part. Erica identifies this as a pivotal scene in the Crown Prince's romance route, where Erica pushes Canon and the prince saves her. Canon looks down at her dirted dress and says she won't be able to attend the party anymore, though she insists she is uninjured. According to the game's script, Prince Arthur is supposed to console Canon and offer to prepare a new dress for her, after which they will leave the scene together for about an hour. Canon will then make a grand re-entrance, escorted by the prince and wearing an elegant new gown he provided for her. As she is led away, Canon glances back at Erica with a triumphant smirk. The truth crashes down on Erica as she realizes she has been perfectly and deliberately set up. The surrounding students begin to gossip, quickly concluding that Lady Erica must have intentionally pushed Canon down the stairs out of jealousy. Seeing the subtle smile on Canon's face confirms Erica's suspicion of her guilt. The whispers of the crowd, calling her the absolute worst and accusing her of acting out because she found Canon's worn dress distasteful, inflict a sharp pain upon Erica. She decides she must bear it and not antagonize the situation further. She accepts that from any onlooker's perspective, she is the clear perpetrator, and this is simply karma for the original Erica's past behavior. She reminds herself that she was already prepared for isolation. She swallows hard, reinforcing her decision to endure the situation quietly. Despite her resolution to avoid Canon and the Crown Prince, she was drawn into this incident right at the start of the day. A new voice then greets her as Lady Erica. Two young noblewomen, T1 Bran and Maria Cordell, approach her. Maria observes that Erica appears to be in a difficult situation, but T1 reassures her that she has nothing to worry about. Maria states with confidence that they saw what happened and know that Lady Canon fell down on her own. Internally, Erica is ecstatic, recognizing the two as popular minor characters from Crisis Maiden and her personal favorite Yuri couple. When they ask if she is alright, she can only stammer a yes in her excitement. She fondly pictures their character profiles from the game, the prim and delicate one alongside the transcendently beautiful and charming Maria. Erica asks them why they believe in her innocence. Maria tells her not to be nervous, adding that it is only natural to be distressed after being hit with a false accusation. Erica is mortified at having stuttered in front of her idols. Suddenly, an upperclassman named Kyle Norton appears, announcing that he witnessed the entire event from the entrance. Erica is shocked, as she knows him to be Prince Kyle of Hysis, a hidden capture target who is studying abroad under an assumed name. The unexpected appearance of a secret capture target leaves her wondering what his purpose is for intervening. Kyle explains that from his perspective, it was clear Canon had orchestrated her own fall. Furthermore, he argues that if Erica were truly guilty, her personality suggests she would have retorted with much more aggression instead of meekness. He adds that the old Erica would have likely said something like, "You were in my way." T1 and Maria confirm that after hearing Kyle's account, they are completely convinced of Lady Erica's innocence. T1 also compliments Erica, noting that her recent weight loss has made her even more beautiful and that she now carries herself with a newfound dignity. Erica becomes flustered, thinking to herself that her change is the result of working hard in secret throughout the vacation. T1 smiles and says that regardless of the reason, her drive to improve herself is highly admirable. Touched by the kind words, Erika feels a tear well up in her eye. The single tear quickly turns into a stream as she is overcome with emotion. Her new acquaintances grow concerned by her sudden crying. She thinks about the loneliness of her situation, being reincarnated without a choice, hated by everyone, and facing nothing but ruin. Through her sobs, she manages to explain that she is just incredibly happy to hear such kind words from people she has always liked. Maria smiles warmly and asks Erika to be friends with her and T1. Erika gladly accepts their offer. Just then, Kyle cuts in, asking if he can be included as well. The idea of befriending a capture target makes Erika recoil, and she internally thinks he is pushing it. She privately dismisses his request as irrelevant, lamenting that she had not hidden her tears better to avoid this complication. The party continued, but when Canon and the prince returned, the other nobles were irritated at having to bow to a commoner, creating a slightly different atmosphere than in the game. Erika resolved to maintain her distance from the main plot. She enjoyed the rest of the evening with her new friends, Maria and T1, and even had a chance to dance. When the party ended, Maria and T1 bid her farewell, saying they had a lot of fun and would see her at the academy. Once they were gone, Erika let out her pent-up excitement, giddily thinking about how cool Lady Maria was and what an angel Lady T1 was. She was thrilled that the day, which she had been fretting over, had turned out so well. As she was about to head home in high spirits, a group of girls called out to her. She turned around, her eyes wide with surprise. A group of girls formally addresses her as Lady Isekai'd. A flashback shows a Maria and T1 fan club membership card. Erika later recounts the event to her cat, Kuro, explaining that she was confronted by the members of Maria and Thion's fan club. At first, the fan club was angry with her, warning her not to get too close to their idols. The fan club members explained that for them, Maria and T1 are beings worthy of worship. In response, Erika grabbed their hands and declared that she understood completely. She passionately declared that she felt the exact same way, that she had always thought they were wonderful, and that she would be happy just to watch over them from afar like a piece of the architecture. Her impassioned speech impressed them so much that she was granted admission into the fan club, and they even shared their prized collection of portraits with her. Kuro listens and dryly asks if this is really the time to be frolicking. Kuro brings her back to reality, reminding her that Canon likely set her up during the incident on the stairs and that the vast majority of students are still against her. Erika's cheerful mood vanishes as the gravity of her situation returns. The following day, she reflects that she enjoyed the opening party so much that she momentarily forgot the academy is a battlefield, and every action she takes from now on will determine her fate. The terrifying thought that a single misstep could result in her death makes her hesitate at the academy entrance, considering it might be safer to simply turn around and go home. Lord Kyle's sudden appearance startles her, and she struggles to maintain her composure in the face of his handsomeness so early in the morning. Noticing her hesitation, he offers to lend her a hand and begins to pull her toward the entrance. Erika is flustered, wondering about the hidden capture target's intentions. She insists she can walk on her own, but he cheekily reminds her that since she refused to dance with him the previous night, this makes them even. She panics internally, her refusal being precisely because he is a capture target. Just then, members of the Maria and T1 fan club appear, providing a perfect escape. They notice she looks pale and ask if she is feeling unwell. Erika quickly pulls away from Kyle, assuring everyone she is perfectly fine, and eagerly joins the fan club girls to head inside. She realizes she must be careful not to get close to the capture targets. Her plan is to avoid Canon and the 4 targets in her class by spending all her free time with Maria, T1, and their fan club. Believing her plan to be perfect, she reasons that since Prince Kyle is in a different year group, it should be manageable to avoid all the key players. Elsewhere, Prince Arthur walks Canon home, telling her it's unfortunate they have to part and that he wishes he could make her his queen right away. From afar, Erika hopes their romance will proceed smoothly, leaving her out of it. Canon demurely thanks the prince for walking her home, telling him he mustn't be so forward. Prince Arthur internally calls Canon an idiot for her naivety about social status, thinking it's obvious that the royal family's authority trumps everything else. A different narrator is revealed to be Canon herself, who thinks the prince's foolishness is adorable and sees him as an important game piece. She promises to continue her charade of love and reverence, asking him to meet her again tomorrow, to which he readily agrees. Canon reflects on this world, where the same time period repeats endlessly, playing out the same scenario 100 times over. In this predictable world, she knows everything that will happen and knows that no matter what she does, she will be forgiven, a state of affairs she wishes could last for an eternity. With a knowing smirk, she reveals the reason for her confidence. It is because she is the one and only heroine of this world. About a month has passed since the start of the second semester. After much upheaval, Erika reflects that she is leading an orderly life, with a schedule that balances school, fan club tea time, training, and sleep. On days when she has no after-school plans, she visits Coco, her clothing and accessories shop, where she is greeted as mistress by the manager, Lana. The newly remodeled shop was purchased as a way to accumulate savings for a potential escape from the country, and it sells apparel and cute accessories to young ladies. As she is the owner in name only, she has entrusted the day-to-day operations to Lana and the rest of the service staff. To her surprise, the shop is even more successful than she had imagined, with word spreading fast and the number of customers increasing daily. Erika gives credit to Lana's talent for the designs, but Lana insists she should be the one thanking Erika for saving her shop from debt collectors and giving her such fulfilling work. Erika blushes, filled with happiness. The shop's initial investments were recovered much sooner than expected, and Lana, having finished the paperwork for new product designs, asks Erika if she would like to try them on. Erika models a new dress and glasses, and Lana exclaims that it suits her very much. Delighted, Erika decides to take a walk around town to advertise the new creations. As she steps outside, she bumps squarely into a young man. He stares back at her, stunned. She stares back in equal, panicked shock. The young man is Prince Kyle, and he recognizes her. She internally panics, wondering why Prince Kyle is here, and he comments that her new clothes are cute. He astutely notes her attire and asks if she is going incognito. Flustered, she quickly lies that she's just shopping and waiting for her attendant. She then notices a girl with him and tries to deflect, but Kyle points out that her supposed attendant is nowhere to be found. Seeing that the woman is older and not a student, Erika's mind jumps to the conclusion that she is a widow and they are having an illicit affair. She tries to make a hasty retreat, telling him to enjoy his date. Kyle suddenly corners her against a wall, warning her that it's dangerous to wander around alone, while his companion giggles that it looks like he is assaulting her. The woman tells Kyle his actions weren't smart, and he agrees before kissing the woman's forehead to make up for it, leaving Erika completely stunned by the display. Thinking they are a formidable and beautiful couple, Erika decides she must use this opportunity to escape. She tries to flee, but Kyle calls after her, insisting he can't leave a sheltered young lady like her alone in the commoner village. She repeats her lie about meeting an attendant, so Kyle offers to walk her there. When she refuses, he asks if he can just follow behind her instead. Horrified that he would openly declare his intention to tail her, she's silenced when he asks what Maria and T1 would think if he left her alone and she got abducted. He then threatens to carelessly let it slip to them that he saw Lady Erika in disguise, walking through the commoner village all by herself. He continues to pressure her, asking her to imagine how bad it would look for the Duke of Ordis's daughter. He finishes by describing how people's tongues would wag at the scandal. Utterly defeated, Erika grits her teeth and shouts that she gets it. And so, they begin walking through the market together. The bustling commoner market is full of sights and sounds. Kyle asks again why she's incognito, noting her middle-class attire is unusual for her station, but she insists it's a secret. Her attention is then caught by a sweets shop, and she declares that she'd like to eat something. When Kyle questions if she's still going to eat, she retorts with exasperation that it's comfort food. Kyle smirks, saying that since a refined gentleman like himself is being a thorn in her side, she should make use of him. He suggests they have a proper stroll downtown, a place a noble lady would never dare to go on her own. She agrees, and they continue their walk through the lively town. Erika excitedly takes in the sights, but nearly gets run over in her carelessness. Kyle quickly grabs her hand, stating that they should have done this from the very start. He explains that he fears she'll get kidnapped if she gets lost and offers to take her anywhere she'd like to go. She is incredibly flustered by his hand holding hers. Her heart pounds in her chest as she finds the situation far too embarrassing. She tries to pull away, but he teases her, asking for a hug as his concession. To distract her, he points out a stall selling candy apples, which she gets very excited about. She exclaims that the treat is nostalgic, a comment that puzzles Kyle. She happily buys a candy apple and presents it to him. With a brilliant smile, she offers it as thanks for accompanying her today. He stares at her, visibly touched by the simple gesture. He accepts it with a quiet thank you. As they walk back, he muses that it was good exercise and that he was surprised by how much she ate. They pass by two young brothers planting in a garden, with the older sibling patiently teaching the younger one. Erika thinks the scene is adorable and glances over at Kyle. She sees a distant, wistful look on his face and wonders if he is thinking about his own brothers, causing her heart to thump. The narrative explains the conflict in Kyle's home kingdom of Hysis, which is embroiled in a dispute over the line of succession between three princes born to different mothers. The first prince, Isekai'd, is of the lowest birth. The second, Sanam, has strong backing, and the last-born, Kyle, is the son of the rightful queen. The kingdom is a political powder keg, and in the game's story, the second prince's faction made attempts on Kyle's life, forcing him to flee to this country. Back in Hysis, it was the eldest prince, Isekai'd, and his mother who supported Kyle after his own mother passed away. Erika wonders what Canon will do about Prince Kyle, musing that while the other capture targets' lives won't drastically change if they fall for Canon, Kyle is a distinct exception. She considers the consequences should Canon choose to capture him. The future of a kingdom hangs in the balance, tied to the heroine's romantic choices. A voice apologizes for disturbing Lady Erika early in the morning. Erika replies that it's no trouble at all, as observing the drama club's morning rehearsal is a unique opportunity, and getting to watch her idols Lady Maria and Lady T1 practice is a reward in itself. She is also confident that she won't run into the crown prince and his entourage, making the situation seem perfect. Or so she thought, as she immediately hears a loud argument concerning stage time and lines. She comes face to face with the crown prince and Canon, and the prince instantly accuses her of being there to harass Canon again. Lady Maria swiftly intervenes, stating that she was the one who invited Erika and that it's highly unlikely Erika even knew Canon would be present. Eager to move on, Erika excitedly pulls her friends along to observe the drama club. They watch the crown prince angrily demand that he and Canon be given more prominent roles, and T1 explains that the two will be making their debut in the club's next play. Erika asks what's going on, and Maria explains that the Academy's drama club is famous and has a long-standing tradition. T1 elaborates that the club wanted to turn down the two amateurs, as the biannual performance is a major event attended by royalty, but they were forced to accept due to the crown prince's insistence, which has led to numerous problems. As a countermeasure, the club gradually cut their stage time, which led to the two quitting, only for them to show up today demanding an apology and more lines. Erika is completely baffled by their behavior. Maria then produces a formal document detailing the conditions they had the prince and Canon sign, which allows them to lodge an official objection with the royal palace if necessary, making Erika wonder if the two are simply stupid. She reflects that theater is a distinguished and influential industry in this kingdom, and realizes she must learn more about the play they are set to appear in. She recalls a key detail from the game Love Crisis Maiden. The play's title was The Two Princesses, and it was an event where the drama club requested the prince and Canon to participate, which is a major discrepancy from what is happening now. She trembles with anxiety, realizing that for the game's story to progress, they must appear on stage, but their current arrogant behavior is so different from their game counterparts that it might cause their popularity to drop, jeopardizing Canon's path to becoming the saint. She worries that if these unforeseen circumstances continue, her plans for avoiding ruin will be jeopardized. As she's lost in thought, a club member rushes in, shouting that there has been trouble. They rush to a room to find it completely ransacked. The entire room is a mess, with furniture overturned and props scattered everywhere. Costumes have been torn to tatters, and a club member laments that she must have left the door open when she went to retrieve some props earlier. Erika recognizes a destroyed dress as a costume for the two princesses, and the club members grimly state they have a good idea who the culprits are. Maria notes that the princess dress seems beyond repair and that while she can bring one from home, the maid's attire for the play will be a problem. T1 then mentions a popular new shop in the commoner's town whose uniforms were the model for the maid's costume, and Erika realizes this is an opportunity. She rushes to her shop. Kokolu explains the situation to Lana and asks for help, to which Lana happily agrees. Erika also asks Lana if it's alright that she listed Kokolu in the play's program booklet, and Lana, knowing Erika is the owner, chuckles and says of course. Returning to her friends, Erika presents the solution, pretending she has connections to the store owner, and marveling at how useful her secret business is turning out to be. She then introduces the idea of a pamphlet, a booklet with performance information to be distributed to the audience, which impresses the club members. They realize that listing Kokoloo as a costume sponsor would be great publicity, and Erika, in a moment of fangirling, suggests also featuring portraits of the lead actors, Maria and T1. The club members are then confused when Erika suggests donating the surplus proceeds from pamphlet sales in the Crown Prince and Canon's names. She explains it is a form of insurance. It gives the two an achievement beyond the stage, providing an added layer of appeal to the public. Maria understands immediately. It lets the two receive credit for the show's success and ensures they won't be a hindrance, as a flop would damage their reputations as well, and she remarks that Erika has changed. She continues, saying that in terms of wisdom and strength, Erika is positively glowing now more than ever. Erika reflects on how glad she is that she came to the academy and made such wonderful friends, and resolves that she must find out which route Canon is pursuing. From the looks of it, Canon has already secured Crown Prince Arthur, so now she must watch for flags with the other capture targets to determine if she is on the harem route. She needs to hurry, as the timing of her own condemnation event depends on the choices Canon makes. She rushes off to investigate but is suddenly stopped by Prince Kyle, who is with his female companion from before. She tries to excuse herself, internally begging Kyle's companion to throw a tantrum to keep him busy, but the woman simply tells Kyle to make it up to her later. He gestures toward the woods ahead, mentioning that the Knights' training grounds are deep within them. Pressed for time and threatened with blackmail about their last outing, Erika relents and allows him to follow her, but only if he makes her a promise. She makes him swear not to ask questions, make a racket, or get in her way, explaining that she needs to verify a flag concerning Sir Roy, who is Thion's fiancé. She explains that Sir Roy's route begins in these woods, where he and Canon bond over their worries, so Canon would only be here if she was aiming for more than just the Crown Prince. If her objective is to open up the harem route, then this is where it would start. Peeking through the bushes, she spots Sir Roy sitting alone by a tree and breathes a sigh of relief. She thinks to herself that if Canon doesn't come, everything will be all right. Suddenly, a rustling sound from nearby startles them, and Kyle quickly pulls her down to hide. To her horror, Canon emerges from the bushes. Erika realizes with absolute dread that they have plunged into the harem route, meaning her death sentence will now arrive at the most expedited rate. Later that day, a worried Kyle insisted on walking her all the way to her door, and though she shared the bad news with Kuro and FIM, they could not find a solution. She is overcome with gloom, unable to sleep or accomplish anything. The next day at the academy, she feels her hands are tied, wondering if she should now make contact with the capture targets or just try to cope with the new situation. As she is lost in thought, Kyle suddenly appears before her and asks if he can borrow some of her time after class. She is completely flustered by the sudden appearance of Lord Kyle. The other students immediately begin to buzz and squeal, gossiping that it's the first time Kyle has ever invited a girl out himself and wondering if they are a couple. Overwhelmed by the sudden attention, Erika panics and runs away. She flees through the school corridors. She arrives at the meeting spot, panting and out of breath. Kyle is already there, calmly sipping tea, and welcomes her back from class, to which she exasperatedly replies that her exhaustion is his fault. She stands over him, fuming. She scolds him for being so conspicuous and causing her to be stared at by dozens of onlookers for half an hour, and he apologizes. He explains that he came to ask her in person because he thought sending a message would only make her wary. His expression turns serious as he says he called her out to ask about yesterday's incident, and her heart thumps as she sips the tea he prepared. He looks her in the eye and asks why she was there, stating that he knows she wanted to confirm Roy and Canon would be at that specific time and place, as if she can see the future. Erika concludes that she cannot stop Canon's harem route by herself and must speak with someone soon. She arranges a meeting with Kyle, telling him there is something important she needs to ask before they discuss anything else. She looks him in the eye and asks directly if he has ambitions to become king. Confused, Kyle initially assumes she is talking about the throne of the current kingdom, but she clarifies that she is referring to his home country, the kingdom of Hysis. Her question forces Kyle to confront memories of his royal family and the circumstances he left behind. He sighs, acknowledging that she somehow knows about his true identity. He explains that he is not the one worthy of the throne of Hysis, that honor belongs to his eldest brother. Kyle states his desire to support his brother if he is ever permitted to return home and then turns the questioning back to Erika, asking what this has to do with their situation. She admits that he might find it hard to believe, but just as he has no ambition for the throne, neither does she. She takes a breath, preparing to reveal the full, unbelievable truth of their world. Erika explains everything, that their world is an otome game, that she was reincarnated from a place called Neon, and that this is all a parallel reality, leaving Kyle completely baffled by the terms. He tries to process her words, repeating that in this supposed game, Lady Erica is designated as a villainess. His initial reaction is to burst out laughing at the absurdity of it all. Annoyed, Erica tells him to forget it and leave her alone, but he grabs her arm to stop her, insisting he wasn't finished speaking. He concedes that her story sounds impossible, yet he cannot ignore the fact that she correctly predicted the actions of Roy and Cannon. While a harem route for Cannon is not entirely unrealistic, the threat of a civil war in his homeland is something he cannot disregard. He asks for confirmation. If he were to be captured by Cannon, would his family truly go to war? Erica solemnly replies yes. She then foretells the grim future from the game's plot. The king of Hysis will die suddenly, leading to a power struggle in which the second prince, Sanam, murders the first prince, Lured. In that timeline, Kyle would have become a hero accompanying the saint on her journey and would only learn of his brother's death after the quest was over. With this knowledge, she states, he cannot possibly fall for Cannon now. She apologizes, admitting that she cunningly manipulated him by using his love for his brother. He seems surprised by her apology. He tells her that thanks to her warning, he now has the chance to prevent his brother from falling into danger. Though he still finds her story difficult to believe, he agrees to help ascertain its truth. He then leans close, whispering that she is much more his type than Cannon, which causes Erica to blush profusely. He asks her to tell him what will happen next to prove her claims. She informs him that a small commotion will occur in the dining hall the following day. The next day, as Erica sits in the dining hall dreading the impending false accusation, the crown prince and his entourage enter with heavy, purposeful steps. One of the prince's followers slams his hand on Erica's table. Roy confronts her aggressively, shouting her name and accusing her of being behind an incident. He presents Cannon's torn textbook as evidence, demanding she stop playing dumb and admit to her wrongdoing, but Erica calmly asks what this is all about. Cannon stands nearby, feigning distress over her ruined textbook. Erica turns to Kyle and tells him to watch the ridiculous farce that is about to unfold, confirming for him that the predicted event has begun. Roy continues his accusation, claiming Erica must have done it out of jealousy during the study camp. Kyle calmly intervenes, asking Roy to explain what, exactly, a girl like Lady Erica would have to be jealous of when it comes to Lady Cannon. He logically points out that Erica is superior to Cannon in every conceivable way, from social status to physical appearance. Kyle's pointed question leaves Roy and Cannon completely stunned and unable to respond. The crown prince steps in, asserting that Erica is jealous because he chose Cannon over her for the position of his consort. Kyle coolly looks at the prince and states that there is no way that could be true. He pauses for dramatic effect before delivering his final blow. Kyle steps behind Erica, places his hands on her shoulders, and publicly announces that he and Lady Erica are dating. The entire dining hall erupts into shocked murmurs at the sudden revelation. Erica's eyes widen in disbelief at what he has just done. She can only utter a single stunned word, "Pardon?" The crowd buzzes with the news of their relationship. Kyle asks Erica if his actions were sufficient proof for her, but she is aghast that he felt the need to protect her in such a dramatic fashion. He then kisses her hand and declares that they are in the lovey-dovey period of their new relationship. Squeezing her hand for emphasis, he informs the prince's group that Erica already has a lover. He finishes by calling the crown prince narcissistic for assuming Erica would still be yearning for him under the circumstances. The entire group, Cannon, Roy, and even Erica's fan club friends, are left trembling and gaping in shock at the lovey-dovey news. 2 days after the dining hall disturbance, Erica is disheartened by the consequences. While she is glad Kyle's intervention worked, it has made her a target, and she now has to endure incessant harassment from his admirers. Despite the unpleasantness, she remains focused on her goal of preventing the harem route to avoid her own ruin and seeks out Kyle for their next move. During their strategy meeting, Kyle remarks that their lover's charade provides the perfect cover for them to meet privately, much to Erica's chagrin. Erica explains that the next matter to address is Sir Roy, who is supposed to be meeting Cannon at a specific time and place. She requests that Kyle interrupt them. She cannot act herself due to her bad reputation at the academy, and she can't easily leave her house without raising suspicion. Kyle offers to simplify things by sending a letter directly to her father. Kyle's proposed letter is a formal announcement of their relationship, seeking permission to take her on a date that weekend, causing Erica to panic at the thought of escalating things to an official engagement. He playfully insists that as a couple, they should be going on dates, and tells her that dealing with his many other girlfriends is her problem now. He agrees to cooperate with her plan but teases her by saying that the future remains uncertain. He tells her plainly that he needs her, but if she finds the terms disagreeable, they can call off their collaboration. Flustered but cornered, Erica reluctantly agrees to meet him in front of the shop where they often run into each other. Kyle grins triumphantly at her concession. He says he is looking forward to their date, prompting Erica to shout that it is absolutely not a date. Back at her home, Erica continues to fume about the meeting, insisting to Kuro that it isn't a date. Her primary goal is to obstruct Kanon's Affection Points event, and she questions why her presence is even necessary. FIM explains the situation. Kanon is set to meet Sir Roy, who is secretly engaged to Lady T1. Exposing their clandestine meeting should be enough to break the romance flag. Erica complains that her involvement will only complicate things, but her familiars remind her that Kyle has refused to go unless she accompanies him. Kuro cautions her to remain on high alert around Kyle, as there is no guarantee that the capture target can be trusted to cooperate reliably. When the weekend arrives, Erica has a bright idea to have FIM take her place, but the slime panics and says it is impossible due to a lack of confidence. Erica is shocked at what she finds when she arrives at the meeting spot. She realizes she has stumbled directly into the middle of Kanon's rendezvous with Sir Roy. To her horror, she sees Lady T1 hiding behind a nearby tree, seething with rage, turning the secret meeting into a volatile war zone. As she tries to process this unexpected turn of events, Kyle arrives and apologizes for being late, confirming her fears. She understands with dawning horror that Kyle orchestrated this entire chaotic scene. Another capture target, Roy's brother, also appears, explaining that Kyle invited him as a surprise. Erica is also surprised to see T1 there. Kanon presents a lunchbox to Roy, completely ignoring that his fiancée, T1, is standing directly behind him. Erica trembles at how terrifyingly oblivious Kanon can be. T1 furiously stomps over to confront Roy, interrupting Kanon's attempt to have him sit with her. T1 angrily accuses her fiancé of meeting with another girl behind her back, while Roy stammers that it's all a misunderstanding. Kyle smugly asks his brother how things are going. The conflict is resolved peacefully, with T1 warning Roy to stay away from Kanon in the future. Just as Erica begins to think the situation is under control, T1 storms off in a rage, leaving Erica to wonder what is happening. Later, the mysterious woman from the prologue confronts Kanon, angry that the presence of Kyle and Thion's group was not part of the plan Kanon described. The woman gives Kanon a calm, knowing smile. She tells the frantic Kanon to calm down, insisting that there is nothing to worry about even though events have been deviating from their original course. She reassures Kanon that despite some minor discrepancies, everything will ultimately work out and she will get what she desires. The woman reminds Kanon that she is the heroine of this story and the saint of this world. The mysterious woman's cold eyes reveal her true intentions. She inwardly dismisses Erica as a mere stepping stone for Kanon, a nuisance that must be eliminated. She decides that the upcoming out-of-school combat class will be the perfect opportunity to make Erica disappear for good. T1 later informs Erica about the overnight combat class scheduled for the next week at a fortress near the Grand Forest. Erica had forgotten about the event but says that she is looking forward to it. Privately, she recalls that this is the event that solidifies Kanon's selection as the saint. Since it doesn't really involve Erica's character, she hadn't paid much attention to it before and thinks it would be fine to skip. However, a nagging feeling tells her she is forgetting something important. A flashback reveals Kanon's thoughts about the original Erica Ortis, a foolish girl she has sent to the gallows repeatedly. Kanon vows that this time will be no different, and she will kill Erica all over again. On the day of the extracurricular combat class, Erica finds herself grouped with her friends, Lady Maria and Lady T1, which is a spot of good luck in an otherwise unfortunate situation where second-year students are assigned to supervise the first years. However, her luck runs out when she also ends up in the same group as Prince Kyle. She travels toward the training fortress in a carriage with her familiar FIM, leaving Kuro behind to look after the house. During the half-day ride, Kyle notices her quiet and sullen mood and asks if something is wrong, but she quickly dismisses his concern. She spends the journey pretending to be asleep to avoid Kyle's advances but ends up actually drifting off. She is abruptly woken by his seductive voice, announcing their arrival, a sound she feels is dangerously charming. At the entrance to the demon forest, she discovers that her group also includes Kanon and her entourage, forcing her to mentally brace for the upcoming ordeal. An instructor begins the briefing, explaining that while the Glenfaria Knights keep the civilian streets safe, demons are abundant in the natural areas outside the royal capital. He clarifies that areas with a high density of demons are known as demon forests, and that the Grand Forest, where their training will take place, is a low-danger, rank D zone. The instructor tells the students they will stay at the nearby fortress, which serves as a watchtower for demon surveillance, and begin their combat training the next day. After instructing the students to settle into their rooms before meeting in the dining hall, Roy, one of the prince's followers, singles out Erica and calls her name aggressively. He sternly warns her not to do anything to sabotage the lesson, as it is a crucial part of Canon's journey to becoming a saint. Erica maintains she has no such intentions, but Roy scoffs at her words. As she turns to leave, having promised not to interfere, Roy grabs her arm to stop her, angry that she is walking away while he is still talking. She stumbles as she tries to free herself from his grasp. Prince Kyle intervenes, telling Roy to watch it. Roy fires back that as saint candidates, someone like Erica could never compare to Canon and threatens to have her expelled from the academy if she gets in Canon's way. The confrontation draws the attention of the other students, who begin to buzz with gossip. Erica glares at her accusers while Canon watches the scene with a smug, hidden smile. When questioned by Roy why she would interfere with Canon, Erica turns the tables on him, asking why he would assume she feels the need to get in Canon's way. She lets out a small laugh, catching him off guard. With newfound confidence, Erica asserts that it is they who feel threatened by her, reminding them of her superior status as a duke's daughter with royal blood and a pope for an uncle, in stark contrast to Canon, who is a mere commoner. She elaborates that since the church selects the saint, she could easily use her political influence to secure the position if she truly wanted it. However, she declares that she came to the academy to be judged on a level playing field, where everyone is assessed fairly regardless of their social standing. She finishes her speech by accusing them of antagonizing her for her privilege, suggesting Canon should be more focused on working hard to overcome her own lack of status. Her final verbal blow is aimed at the Crown Prince, as she questions whether his actions stem from a lack of faith in Canon's own abilities, leaving him utterly speechless. Later that evening, Erica reflects on the confrontation, realizing she may have said too much and messed up. She decides to pull herself together and prepare for the next day's training. Back in her room, Fim appears and complains of a strange smell, which jogs Erica's memory. She still feels she has forgotten something important about this event, and she identifies a pouch containing a demon-repelling scent. Fim asks if the scent truly works, and Erica explains that it was distributed to all students as a precaution, although powerful demons are only found deep within the forest. As a demonic spirit, Fim finds the pouch's scent not repellent but incredibly stimulating and irresistible. This reaction makes Erica realize the horrifying truth. The pouch contains a demon-attracting scent, not a repellent one. She immediately rushes to Lady Maria's room to confirm her suspicions. She deduces that Canon and her group must have switched the pouches when they briefly left the dining hall during the meal. A sense of urgency propels her forward. She understands that this act is far more sinister than mere harassment. Carrying a demon-attracting scent into the forest is a suicidal act. The gravity of her near-fatal situation hits her hard. If Fim had not been present to identify the scent, she would have been attacked and killed by demons without ever knowing why, just as she was on the cusp of avoiding her destruction end. Determined to uncover the truth, she sneaks out of the fortress and into the forest under the cover of night. Armed with a dagger, she smirks with resolve, ready to face the danger head-on. The following morning, the forest is deceptively calm, with birds chirping peacefully. She quietly reflects on the events that have transpired. Realizing she is being actively targeted, Erica knows she must adopt a new mindset. She decides to go for a stroll with Fim to clear her head, and her movement is noticed by Kyle from a distance. As she walks, she admires the beauty of the forest but is suddenly struck by an unnerving silence as all the birds stop chirping. The forest animals begin to stampede past her, frantically crying out that there is trouble and that they must escape. Using her ability to understand animals, she learns the cause of the panic. A human has injured the offspring of the master of the forest, and now a horde of demons is descending from the depths of the forest to lay siege to the fortress in revenge. Knowing the fortress is ill-equipped to handle such an attack, she desperately asks the animals for the location of the injured offspring. They tell her it can be found at the Jade Spring. She immediately heads deeper into the forest to find the spring. There, she discovers a small white tiger cub, grievously wounded but still breathing. She channels all her energy into casting a barrage of powerful healing spells to save the cub's life. To her dismay, even after she heals all of its physical wounds, the cub's life force continues to wane. A spirit appears, identifying herself as the master of the forest and the cub's mother. She explains that the child has lost too much of its vital energy, or Aina, along with its blood. Erica apologizes for the actions of the human responsible and pleads for a chance to save the cub. The spirit sorrowfully explains that the cub was born with a fatal inability to absorb external Aina and was destined to die young. The attack merely hastened its fate. As the spirit's husband begins to move his forces, she warns Erica to stay hidden in the forest, as returning to the fortress will mean getting caught in the impending conflict. Refusing to give up, Erica believes that if she can just find a way to replenish the cub's lost Aina, she can save it. An idea begins to form in her mind regarding how to transfer Aina to a demon. She realizes the key to saving the cub is through the transfer of Aina. She recalls the nature of her contract with FIM, which allows for the seamless transfer of Aina between master and familiar, regardless of the distance between them. Her only option is to form a master-familiar contract with the dying cub to directly transfer her own life force. She begs the cub to accept, promising she will find a way to void the contract afterward. She learns that the cub is not just any demon, but a white tiger, the king of white tigers. Acting quickly, she bestows upon it the name White King and forces the contract to save its life. The contract is successful, and the now healed White King licks her hand, acknowledging her as its new master. The cub's mother is shocked by Erica's reckless act, explaining that forcing a contract in such a way is extremely dangerous and would have killed anyone with a smaller reserve of Aina. With its Aina restored, the cub transforms into a small human-like boy. The mother transforms from a spirit into a majestic white tiger and thanks Erica for saving her child. The tiger then takes on a human form and reveals her true identity. She is the white tiger of the 4 holy beasts, who are guardians of ancient magic and the ones who appoint the saint. Erica suddenly remembers this from the game's lore. It all clicks into place for Erica. She finally recalls the important detail she had forgotten. The Jade Spring is the first sacred ground that the chosen saint must visit to receive the blessing of ancient magic. The white tiger, having made her decision, invites Erica to dip her hands into the sacred spring. Erica panics, protesting that she cannot, as this is something only the true saint is meant to do. Despite her protests, her hand moves as if guided by an unseen force and touches the water's surface. As her fingers enter the spring, a surge of power rushes through her, and ancient runes swirl around her as something awakens in her mind. She is overwhelmed by a blinding explosion of magical energy. The holy beast of the West, the Jade White Tiger, announces that she has made her choice and confers the ancient magic upon Erica. The White Tiger formally recognizes Erica as the saint, but Erica vehemently denies it, insisting that Canon is the one who is supposed to be the saint. Just as Erica is recognized as the saint, her familiar urgently warns her of the smell of blood coming from the fortress, sparking the fear that the demons have already begun their attack. She realizes with dread that even though White King's life was saved, a new and immediate crisis has descended upon them. Hearing the sounds of explosions, she tells White King they must race back to the fortress without delay. They arrive to a scene of chaos, with demons overrunning the fortress walls. As a student cries out for help, White King leaps to their defense. Erica rushes to the side of the injured, immediately offering to treat their wounds. With everyone in a state of confusion, she takes command of the situation, instructing White King to conceal his true form while she assesses the scene. She issues clear orders. Those with combat experience are to defend the perimeter, while others assist where they can, and she promises to save a gravely injured student. She resolves that if she truly possesses the cheat abilities the gods spoke of, there is no better time to use them than now. A brilliant light envelopes her as she unleashes a massive wave of healing magic across the area. The immense output of magical energy leaves her panting from exertion. After healing the wounded across half the fortress, she realizes with growing concern that she has not yet seen any of her friends or acquaintances. Her search finally leads her to a high balcony where she spots Lady Maria and the other fan club members, and she prays for their safety. She calls out to them, overjoyed that they are all safe. Meanwhile, a tense argument breaks out between Lord Kyle and a knight who refuses to let him enter the dangerous forest to search for survivors. Kyle shouts that he cannot stand by while Lady Erica and T1 are still missing in the forest. Just then, Maria explains to Erica that the demons were inexplicably targeting only Lady T1, who went into the forest alone so as not to endanger the others. Erika, who has just arrived, is horrified to learn T1 is in the forest by herself. Without a moment's hesitation, Erika dashes into the forest to find her friend, leaving Kyle to shout after the idiot, running into danger. As she runs, she is filled with regret, cursing herself for not realizing the truth of the situation much sooner. It all becomes clear. When she interfered with Sir Roy's romance flag, she wasn't the only one who became a target for Cannon's ire. T1 did as well, and the demon-attracting scent was meant for her. She begins to suspect that Cannon may have also been the one who injured White King and provoked the Master of the Forest into attacking. She reasons that since White King was injured on sacred ground, and only she and Cannon possess the holy attribute necessary to enter such a place, Cannon must be the culprit. Wondering what Cannon's ultimate goal is, she finally spots Lady T1 on the ground, surrounded by demon wolves. She immediately orders White King to charge and protect her friend. The great white tiger leaps into the pack of wolves, biting down fiercely on an attacker. White King lets out a terrifying roar that causes the lesser demons to tremble in fear at his power. The intimidated wolves scatter and retreat into the forest. Erika rushes to Thion's side, her heart pounding with fear and adrenaline. She is immensely relieved to find that T1 is still alive and immediately begins healing her, telling FIM to take care of her. FIM understands and watches over T1 while Erika turns her attention to the remaining threat. As the remaining demons regroup, Erika feels that something is not right. She knows that demons can sense differences in power and should have been scared off by White King's roar under normal circumstances. She then notices that the demons are exuding a strange, dark aura, and their eyes are glowing ominously. Instead of retreating, the demons leap from the trees in a coordinated attack. Before they can land, a black mist erupts from the ground and envelopes Erika, trapping her. The mist violently throws T1 aside before lifting Erika into the air. The black mist solidifies into the form of Cannon, who presses Erika down onto the ground with overwhelming force. Enraged, Cannon demands to know why Erika keeps getting in her way, screaming that she is nothing but a stepping stone for her. As Cannon's dark power surges, FIM cries out for its master, who struggles under the immense pressure. Erika then realizes that a disembodied voice is whispering in Cannon's mind, commanding her to kill her. She sees a second, shadowy version of Cannon swirling around her, and questions what it is. While the real Cannon screams that she is the heroine and the world must bend to her will, Erika comes to a shocking conclusion. This dark entity must be the bug the god warned her about. The bug tightens its grip, making it impossible for Erika to breathe, and she realizes it has been latched onto the heroine all along. As her vision darkens, she wonders if this is how she is going to die. Her life flashes before her eyes as she thinks of all the people she has come to love and the future she has yet to build. A fierce determination fills her. She cannot die yet. Through choked gasps, she tells the bug-possessed Cannon that even if she is the heroine, it means nothing. With a final surge of defiance, she screams that being the heroine doesn't mean the world belongs to her. A massive blast of holy energy erupts from her, flinging Cannon and the bug away. Erika confronts the entity, stating that having viewed this world as a game for so long, she understands its nature, which only enrages the possessed Cannon further. She declares that the real Cannon is a brave and honest girl, beloved by all, and commands the bug to get out of her body. She unleashes an overwhelming blast of holy light. The dark, shadowy bug is forcibly expelled from Cannon's body and dissolves into nothingness, leaving the real Cannon to collapse as White King rushes to her side. The immense power expenditure leaves Erika completely drained, and she collapses to the ground as her familiars cry out her name. Kyle arrives just in time to catch her before she hits the ground, gently lifting her into his arms. He holds her close, breathing a sigh of relief. The fortress stands in the distance as the immediate threat subsides. Erika's eyes slowly flutter open. She awakens in a bed with Kyle watching over her, and her first question is about her location. She frantically asks about the well-being of T1, Cannon, and everyone else. Kyle calms her, assuring her that everyone is fine and no lives are in danger. However, he informs her that the situation with Lady Cannon is complicated. The doctor has determined that Cannon has lost all of her memories and her mind has reverted to that of a young child. A small, childlike Cannon then enters the room, calling Erika big sister. The innocent Cannon thanks Erika for saving her and presents her with a flower as a token of gratitude. Erika looks at the flower and the child before her, a pained and conflicted expression on her face. Kyle later comforts her, telling her that what happened was not her fault. He reminds her that she acted in self-defense, but she still feels the weight of having used her magic on Kanon. He simply tells her she is impossible as always, and that she has nothing to worry about. With a gentle smile, Erika declares that she can carry the burden of any sins she has accumulated. Kyle is visibly moved by her strength and resolve. He then announces that he will be returning to his home kingdom of Hysis soon to resolve the succession crisis once and for all. He vows to place his eldest brother on the throne, end the civil strife, and then return to see her officially recognized as the saint. He asks that when he returns, she consider him as a candidate for the position of her hero. He teases that a reckless saint who sneaks out of fortresses needs someone to watch over her, leaving Erika blushing and flustered. Her heart pounds in her chest as she wonders if his intentions are purely political, or if he truly wishes to become her lover, just as the hero does for the saint in the original game. She tries to convince herself it's just his usual banter, but she can't shake the feeling that it's something more. He gives her a gentle, knowing smile that speaks volumes. Her heart skips a beat as she looks up at him. Kyle leans in and gently kisses her on the cheek. The intimate moment is interrupted when one of the other girls runs in, announcing that Lady T1 has woken up. Erika rushes to Thion's bedside, where Maria and the others are already gathered, relieved to see their friend awake and well. The aftermath shows the students recovering, with the now innocent Kanon happily giving a flower to a bewildered Roy, while Kyle looks on with a smile. Erika reflects that although she never confirmed if the black fog was the bug, she has successfully avoided her destruction and, for now. As Maria calls her to join the post-event celebration, Erika makes a new resolve: to live life as herself and do everything in her power to protect the people she holds dear. As she heads to the celebration, Kyle appears from a nearby corridor and holds out his hand to her. With a radiant smile, she takes his hand, fully accepting her new identity as Isekai'd, the Villainess. They walk down the corridor together, hand in hand. The final text declares, "I became a Villainess." A celebratory message marks the completion of the romance arc.